What's up, party people? Once again, I have lead drama for you, specifically regarding whether he's going to stay with the Lakers, everybody's favorite topic, as well as an injury report for him on Thursday against the Warriors, and some comments that both him and AD made regarding the recent All-Star game this past Sunday. So basically, All-Star game, it was the highest scoring in history. East walked away with it with 211 to the West 186, and a lot of players had thoughts to share. And sneak peek. And so let's go over LeBron and AD's comments on the All-Star Game's competitiveness. We've always known that the All-Star Game, nobody plays defense. It's been a thing forever. We know that we are not seeing any of these players' defensive skills. They are going for the highest scores possible, but this game was just really a obnoxious example of that. Like, it was to the point where it just wasn't even fun to watch, at least in my opinion. And it seemed like a lot of players sort of felt the same way, even if they couldn't outright say it. But also, they are trying not to get injured, and that was their reasoning why they weren't playing defense, weren't playing hard at all. But I think their lack of competitiveness just really ruined the game. And so let's go into some of their comments about it. So first of all, Davis said, obviously, the fans in the league and everybody wants to be competitive, but then you also, as players, think about trying not to get hurt. Obviously, injuries are a part of the game, and no one wants to get hurt in the All-Star game. All these guys here are very valuable to their teams. So it's some mixed emotions about it. You try to go out there and compete a little bit and not just be a highlight show. But at the same time, do you guys really want to see somebody going down for a dunk and somebody to contest it, and God forbid something happens in the All-Star game when it could have been avoided? Essentially, he's kind of understanding that us as fans, we really want to see these greatest players in the league put on an insane showcase of their skills. That's what we all want. But he also recognizes that players are worried about getting injured in an exhibition game. And I think that is a very valid fear, but it just makes it just so hard to watch, especially when other players are really making it a goal to score over 200 points at halftime just for the heck of it, because they know they can, because they know they can get away with it, because players aren't playing defense. And then similarly, LeBron said, who, by the way, it was LeBron's record 20th All-Star game. He now holds the record for most All-Star games ever competed by a player, but he also only played 14 minutes in it and then sat the second half. But his main takeaway was that nobody got hurt. And he said, obviously, from a player's perspective, it's fun to get up and down. But at the end of the day, our competitive nature doesn't like to have free-flowing scoring like that. But I think the good thing that came out of tonight was none of the players were injured and everybody came out unscathed, or how they were before the game began. So again, you can kind of tell that the underlying theme is he wishes it was more competitive. Obviously, as somebody who's a professional athlete and competing is their life. Like, winning is what they live for. It's hard not to just be as competitive as possible, but they have to tamper it because they're worried about getting injured. Again, just a complex topic that I get it from the player side, but also as a fan, hey, I want to see more competitive games. And also, the irony of this statement by LeBron leads us into our next topic, of him being out Thursday against the Warriors. So the reason he actually didn't play the second half of the game is he actually came to the All-Star game with an injured ankle already. It hasn't really been disclosed what's going on. I think it's just like a minor sprain, but he was receiving treatment before the All-Star game. And then we just got a report as well that says that the treatment he will undergo on his left ankle this week will possibly keep him out of the lineup for Lakers-Warriors on Thursday. So that's moderately concerning if he was already being treated before the All-Star game, continuing to get treated, and almost like 5 days later still might be out. What is going on? A little bit concerning, and I also think it's, again, ironic that he was like, at least nobody got injured, but he was already a bit injured and now might be out Thursday. So don't love that. Also, totally forgot to mention when I was talking about the All-Star game, shout out to Laker legend Mac McClung. Undeniably deserved to win that second dunk contest. He was so robbed, though, in the first few rounds. I could make a whole separate video about the dunk contest and some other aspects of the All-Star weekend, including the Sabrina Steph shootout, which, by the way, I think was a really great showing for women's basketball. Even if Sabrina didn't win, she still scored the highest or she still tied the highest scoring score of the actual three-point contest shooting from the NBA line, even if she did still use a women's ball. So anyways, I thought that was still a great success. Dunk contest was a mess as always, but I'm just glad Mac actually walked away with it. I was screaming at the judges from my couch. I could not believe the scores that they were giving. But anyways, back to LeBron and gang. Speaking of the Warriors and LeBron, we all know the recent news that came out regarding that about how the Warriors actually wanted to possibly trade for LeBron and requested him to come to the Warriors right before the trade deadline had passed, or had been trying to make that happen. And our favorite person who pretends to always be unaware of drama, LeBron himself said he denied knowing about this trade. Obviously, that is... he's lying. There's no way he didn't know about that. But I think the fact that even if he's claiming he didn't know, the fact that he didn't go is showing really that he is going to stay with us. And that leads into some of his comments that he made about if he is actually retiring a Laker. As always, everybody's always talking about this. This is a constant point of NBA media. Is he going to retire a Laker? It's no secret that LeBron is entering his final few seasons, and he addressed some of these comments, or he addressed the fact that he is retiring soonish, although he didn't give an actual timeline, during some press conferences during All-Star Weekend. So let's look at those really quickly. So basically, when asked how much longer he will actually be playing and which team he'll retire with, James said, "I don't have the answer to how long it is or which uniform I'll be in. Hopefully it is the Lakers. It is a great organization, so many greats. I don't know how it's going to end, but it's coming. It's coming for sure. We know this. It's not a secret. LeBron's going to retire soon. You guys know my stance. He's staying in the league until Bronny comes. That's also the widely accepted stance. That's what LeBron himself has been saying. He wants to play with his son. That is, you can't argue with that. There's no way he's retiring before Bronny gets to the NBA, if he gets to the NBA at least. And then, as for his Lakers comments, I really do believe that LeBron would be retiring a Laker. I really hope that, obviously, as a Lakers fan, but I also do think it would be cool if he did maybe sign a one-day contract with the Cavs to maybe sign as a Cavalier just for his hometown, or his home state, at least. I know I probably shouldn't admit that as a Lakers fan, but I do think that would be a really cool option. But I think his actual last game that will be played will be as a Laker, and I really do believe that the Lakers will swing getting Bronny to the Lakers so that LeBron does that. And then also, when talking a bit more about his last season, he also said this, which I think was a little bit interesting. So as James, and this is all from The Athletic, by the way, so as James openly discussed the waning years of his career, which has spanned 2 stops in Cleveland, 1 in Miami, last 6 seasons with LA, 4 titles, 4 NBA MVPs, blah, blah, blah. Basically, he's debating, should he enjoy a farewell season like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan did, or retire more abruptly and Tim Duncan it? Essentially, he is currently debating whether he wants to tell us ahead of time if he's retiring, or just kind of do it just with nobody expecting. I personally really hope that he announces it's his last season whenever he does, so that fans do get the chance to pay their respects and go see him in person if they have been unable to see him play his entire career so far. I think he does owe that to NBA fans, and I think it would be really hard to just kind of play a season and then be like, oh, I'm done. Well, I respect a lot of athletes that do that. I think in LeBron's case, because he is just such a crazy figure in sports, I think he owes it to everybody to tell us when he is retiring and when it'll be his last season. I know that puts a lot more pressure on him, but hey, if you're going to be included in GOAT discussion talks, you should be able to handle the pressure of expecting to perform at your highest, your very last season, especially when you're still putting up numbers at almost age 40 that you've been putting up, or that you were putting up your first few years in the NBA. There's no excuse to not announce it being your final season when that time eventually comes, and everybody just wants to be able to hype up your last season, make sure he goes out in the best way possible. But yeah, I really do think he will be staying with the Lakers, or play his last game as a Laker, maybe sign, again, one-day contract with the Cavs, stay there, but we'll see what happens. He has been so, he's just been very hard to read and just making super convoluted comments about whether he's going to retire as a Laker or not. I think he's just doing it to stir up drama. He is a drama queen, as I've mentioned so many times in this video and in so many past videos. He likes to get people talking, and if there's one thing he's always going to get, it is attention. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Lakers Digest. Leave a comment if you disagree with anything I said or agree with it. I love comments too, not just hate comments. But that being said, we post a ton of Lakers videos every week, especially as we are getting closer and closer to the postseason. We have a lot coming your way. And once again, I've been Jaya Tewari. Thank you guys so much for watching.